So, hi, my good people. I hope you are good. I'm also well. So, welcome back to part two of dating as a single parent. So, I did a part one. If you have not watched, kindly go watch so that you can connect. And in part one, we just talked about how to date, what to do when you have come from another relationship. So, today we are going to discuss now. We have come out of that relationship of that marriage. You have healed. Maybe you have stayed alone for like 1 or 2 years just to focus on yourself, just to learn about what happened in your past, just to reflect back and see what are the mistakes that you did, what are the red flags that you ignored, and what can you do better. So this is someone who has come now from a point of healing. And now they feel like I'm ready for another relationship. And here I want us to note that it depends on the age of your children. Because if you're having a 1 year old, a month's old baby, personally, I don't advocate for you to start another relationship. Maybe you can take care of your child, they grow a bit, maybe 2 years, 3 years, and now you can think about having another relationship. Because when kids are small and they cannot talk, they'll be abused, but they cannot even communicate to you. So you not even know when your child has been abused, when your child has been like molested, you can't tell. So I always encourage single moms that before you start dating again, make sure that you have a child who can speak for themselves. Someone who, when you come home, they'll be able to tell you, Mom, Auntie did this and this to me, this and this happened. They give you news. These kids that they'll report everything, good and bad, and even what they have done. That's kids for you, very innocent. They'll say what they did wrong and what they did right and what happened. So at least at this point, when you date someone and something happened, they'll be able to tell you. At least at this point, when maybe you are going for a coffee date and you leave them at home with the house manager or their siblings, they'll be able to say what really happened. Now, when you meet this person, the first thing I want us to do is know this person. Know this person, where they are coming from, know their past. When you meet with someone in those coffee dates that you guys are going and you're there talking about love, I miss you, I love you, you are the only woman in my life, you are the only guy. No, that's the time to know this person. Where are you coming from? What are your values? What do you believe in? Where were you 5 years ago? This thing of asking someone at where do you see your life 7 years ago, 5 years ago? I mean, they can even fake the answers. But when you start from where were you 5 years ago, even you'll be able to connect. Like if they were in this place 5 years ago, chances are they'll be in this place 5 years to come. So you don't ask someone, tell me where you want to be in the next 10 years. It is okay to ask, but don't dwell on that. Start on the past. Where were you 10 years ago? They'll tell you, 10 years ago, I was in this relationship, it didn't work. I did this, I started another relationship, it didn't work. So this guy, within 10 years, this guy or this lady has dated like 15 people. They have been in 5 relationships that didn't work. Because when you ask about their past, you need to know also the relationship. How were they? Were they in a marriage and what happened? So let them take you through. Where were they 10 years ago? So this guy will tell you, or this lady will tell you, I got pregnant with this guy. The guy left me. Now I started another relationship. I got pregnant. This guy left. I was in another relationship. I got pregnant. And now you as a man, you should know what is the trigger, what is the facilitating factor for this lady to have different men and to have different children with them. Maybe this lady is coming from a point of they are broken. They have that void in them that they're trying to fill. What happened? So you just try to dig deeper from their past. This is the first date, my friend. Hakuna mambo ya levidavi. Ni interview for your own good. Because these are the things that we just brush them off. And then we enter into marriage. And then you start seeing baby mama calling. Someone is calling, you have not sent school fees. And this guy didn't tell you that they have a child somewhere. And now you are there wondering, and then they're like, mimi hukuniuliza, or I didn't see it important to tell you. So ushaingia, now you are pregnant, or you have already told everyone in your family. You know, as women, we're the ones who want to parade. We're the ones who want to share the news how we are married. But your hubby is not even telling anyone that they are married. So now, find out, where were they 10 years ago? What kind of job were they doing? Someone will tell you, yeah, 10 years ago, I used to work in this place. Yes, I did this and this. So you'll be able to know if this person, when it comes to finances, how are they behaving? When it comes to spirituality, are they growing? Someone will tell you, me kanisa, me, I don't believe in church. You know, these pastors of nowadays, and you believe in church. So that is when we'll be like, I think this one is not for me. You have not even gone ahead of telling this person we can have something. You are just learning them. Someone will tell you, me, I don't believe in this. And maybe this is what you believe in. Me, I don't believe that a man should have one wife. Me, I don't believe that you can stay with one man for the rest of your life. You know, these are the things that you are picking. Just having a conversation. And then after this, you'll be able to say, am I ready for this or I'm not? So the first day should be something that you discuss about your past, what happened. If they have been in a relationship, what happened? If they have been in a marriage, what happened? Because don't assume and say, mambo ya past, mambo na past. I'm telling you, history repeats itself. And I can tell you for free, I've handled different cases. Most times, what contributed to that marriage to end or that relationship to end will also contribute to this one of yours to end. That is why I'm saying, find out, where were they 10 years ago? In terms of spirituality, in terms of relationship, in terms of job or work or their career, where were they 10 years ago? Because when we say that the past is the past, when now things will start show up in this marriage, I was listening to a story on Tuko about this lady who she realized she was wife number 5. And when she met this guy told her the wife died. The wife was a teacher and the wife was killed. So he's a widower with 3 kids. This lady was like, okay. So it is a long story. The story is there. So this lady, they started to have things together and everything. But all of a sudden, when now this lady got pregnant, she miscarried, the second baby came, and now things were starting to be worse. Vitu zilikuwa zinaenda haywire. So this lady decides to do investigation. Na realize I'm wife number 5. So now ask yourself, if this lady could have taken her time to learn this person, even to ask this person, can I go to your home? Can you take me to your place? This guy could have told this lady the truth that even if I'm taking you to my place, just know I'm married. Even if she will not like know the 5, but at least she will know this one because the first wife was staying in shags. And then now you assume all this. What you see is, I'm a single mom, so I have this guy who loves my kids. I have a question. By the way, one thing that will make a man to confuse you or a woman to confuse you is because they know the trigger and they know which button to press. And the button to press is to show you that they love your kids. And then you'll be like, they love my kids. You know what will happen to my children? My children feels like they have a father, like they have a mom. That is why we are going to do another part of this dating as a single parent. We are going to discuss about when to introduce a man to your kids. Because now you have met this guy within a month, anajua kwako, anajua watoto wako wote, anajua watoto wako anasoma wapi, anajua kuna pesa ngapi kwa account. Madam, anajua sijui mwenye mko na issues kwenu. And we are going to discuss about what to tell a man or a woman about your past in terms of your family. Because some people, they will use that one weakness against you when things go south. So if you meet this person, don't be like, ni kama ulikuwa umekufa, sasa umefufuka. It's like you have met Jesus. Now you have to tell this man everything about your life. And the same thing you are telling this man about your family. Even your past, the things you can't say like, in my past, I was a drunkard and I was sleeping with other people's husbands. Okay, the things you cannot tell someone. But you, who is listening to them, pick the points that they are saying. As they give you their story, there are things you can pick and will be like, I don't think this is my cup of tea. I don't think, according to my values, hii haingiani. You understand? So, even you when you meet someone, don't start saying, tumelelewa na shida, unajua kwetu, hatunanga pesa, hakuna kitu, mama yangu hata alikuwa anapigwa na baba yangu. And huyu mtu hata umjui, like, ndio mmedate 3 months. This person knows all your father's weaknesses and your mother's weaknesses and your siblings. This person knows venye mwelewani kwa familia, venye kila mtu ako peke yake, venye I don't know. So, at this point, you have met this person, you have gone for the first date. You have asked the person about their past and now where they want to be in the next 10 years. And even as they tell you where they want to be in the next 10 years, you as a person, you are able to verify if this is true. Not 100%, but because of their past. Now you can tell enyewe, hapa inawezekana, hapa I really doubt. If this person amekwambia, yeye hapendi mambo na masomo. You know, mi nikiwa shule sikuwa napenda masomo and I dropped out of school and I'm doing this. And then this person tells you, in the next 10 years, I want to do a PhD. Now you have to ask them, like, what has changed? Because hawapendi masomo in their past years of their past life. They don't like books. They don't like to read. They don't like anything to do with studies. Now they are telling you in the next 10 years, they want to be a PhD holder. You can connect and say, enyewe, say you are telling them, but in your head, you're gathering some notes. Because at the end of the day, when you decide to live with this person, they're coming with their own baggage. And now, if you know their past, personal life, you'll be able to know, this is what I can do, this is how I can handle them, and this is what happened to them, and this is how we can stay together. Someone tells you, I don't believe ati mwanamke unafaa kumpatia pesa. Ati unajua mimi hii mambo ya kupatia mwanamke pesa hapana. And then you are there, you need money. You know that where you are coming from, your dad used to do everything for your mother. So you are there wondering, my dad used to do everything for my mom. So I'm here, this guy is saying, I believe kupea mwanamke pesa. Now, you'll be able to choose, are you ready for it or not? Because I always tell people, there's someone for you outside there. So you don't need to lower your bar. You don't need to dim your light. You don't need to, lower your standards. You don't need to be like they're doing a favor for you. There's always someone for everyone outside there. So when you meet someone who you feel like we are not compatible, don't waste your time there. And then we'll be like, actually date na 2 years. What were you doing for the 2 years? Because even you knew this one is not working. And I've talked to people who they will tell you, mimi nilijua marriage yangu imeisha hata before niolewe. Because they can even tell you the red flags they saw. The pre-wedding preparation, they'll tell you this and this happened, this and this happened. But you ask them, you just continue with the wedding. What's the main reason? I didn't want to fail my parents. I didn't want to fail my friends. You know, this guy has really invested in me. So sikutaka kumkosea. At the expense of your peace. At the expense of your purpose. Because purpose is connected to marriage. Who you marry matters when it comes to purpose. So we are going to do this series even to know how can your spouse ruin your purpose. So now, you didn't want to fail them. You didn't want to fail your parents. You didn't want to fail the church. Watu wa kanisa wangesema nini? Marafiki zangu wangesema nini? Okay, wangesema nini? Now, it is you and this man. And the people that you sacrificed for, they're busy doing their own things. They're busy with their life. In fact, they even forgot about the wedding that they attended. Ile mchele walikula na pilau, walishasahau, wamesonga na maisha yao. But you are suffering here because you didn't want to offend your friends. So most people, they know. They will even tell you, our first year in marriage, this and this happened, and I knew this one is not going to work. But the fear of what will people say? What will people say have really made people to take their lives, have made people to be in bad relationships because what will people say? What will people say have made people to kill their children, to kill their spouses? What will people say have made people to stay where they know? You know, us, we can tell you something. You can lie to us. You can be like, yeah, I'm happy. Unatupostia TikTok huko, my Instagram, but you cannot lie to yourself. Imagine. When you're just alone in that house and you are crying, when you're just alone in that house and you're feeling depressed, you cannot lie to yourself. The people that you wake up in the morning and you apply your makeup, they'll feel you're okay, but you are dying. These are the people that you want to please. These are the people that you don't want them to speak. Wataongea. In the next 2 hours, wamesahau story yako. Kuna story ingine imetoka ina trend. So people don't even have that time to dwell, like discuss you. People have their own struggles, their own issues that they are sorting in life. They don't have time for your own. So, in the next part, that is part 3, we are going to discuss now when to introduce this guy to your children.